Bring me one volume.
Okay.
Maybe I'll find a kid in school. Eli, good morning. I realize that you are not here. Eli, where are you?
Yeah, I'm in Deal.
Very,
My wife wants to come for the weekend.
very nice. Your wife is right. Your wife is right. The best time in deal is now that nobody's there.
Yeah.
Larry is on his way to California to
Oh, nice.
mitzvah for his grandson. He's on the
Oh, very
plane.
nice. Very nice.
Interestingly, his son is landing this morning from Israel.
Oh, he's on California.
His son was a professional psychiatrist in America. He went to Israel, he got his citizenship, he wants to stay in Israel, it looks like.
Wow, beautiful.
Wow.
Smart man.
He doesn't give speeches about Zionism, he doesn't. The kid had his own apartment in Manhattan, with a very big salary, and he's going to Israel.
Is he married?
No. He's super professional, he's super scholar. We are here on page 1046. Eli wants you to remember Abdul Woods. Eli's indeed.
We close the house after Labor Day. See you in May.
Yeah.
The second, the first time, this parasha has more mitzvot, Aseh and Lot Aseh, than any other parasha, 73. Interestingly, some of the mitzvot that are mentioned here are not mentioned anywhere, like mitzvah Yibum and Chalitza. Let's go a second to the third one, which we spend time at night, not during the day. Ki yeh leish ben sorer u'moreh, and then we shomea b'kol aviv u'b'kol imo. So if you learn the text, you don't have it open in the text. מה פירוש ויסרו אותו ולא ישמע להם? איננו שומע בקול אביו ובקול אמו. He doesn't listen to his parents. ויסרו אותו ולא ישמע להם. What does it mean? ויסרו אותו ולא ישמע להם. Just look a second on page 1084.
I'm sorry, could you give me the pasuk, the parak? Because I have a different, I'm using a different.
אוי, yeah. פרק כ"א, פסוק י"ח.
Thank you.
47.
The man has a child, ואיננו שומע, ויסרו אותו ולא ישמע להם. So as you learn elementary school, kindergarten, or 88, 40, 50, you learn ויסרו אותו לילד. ויסרו אותו means they bring him once to court and he gets 39 lashes once. ויסרו אותו, he gets regular 39 lashes. And he is doing it again, and we have again witnesses, yes, that are giving him a warning. Then
The first one that he gets lashes, Rabbi, is on the stealing of the same meat and the same wine. That same measurements.
whatever that relies. Which Averot, Eli, are we giving him 39 lashes? Page
No.
1048.
As far as I know, not really any averot.
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Not any. I mean, the stealing of the meat or the yain. I don't. But I'm not sure it's not something that you get lashes for.
So the Gemara says that the warning is not to al adam. Yes, he steals. The Ramban is saying he's over on Kedushim to you, he's over on Davkabo, but he gets 39 lashes first, and he doesn't listen. Then ותפסו בו אביו ואמו. Now, are they obligated to bring him or they have the right to bring him? The Gemara says that even after they bring him to court, he can be mocher and he's not. Why in the world, David, if parents take the kid and they know that the end result is going to be, the kid is going to be stoned? See, we are afraid to learn the Chumash for what the Chumash is saying. Yes. What is the Chumash saying? No matter what your kid being engraved, no matter being an American teenager, drugs and alcohol, or living in Manhattan and not Jewish life. I mean, this is the message really of the Pasuk, yes. Abramsky says that he had a woman he was a rabbi in Russia after the Russian Revolution, comes to him and says, Rabbi, here is my son's name, pray for him to die. Says he was drafted to the
Russian army.
Russian army. He's definitely going to come out. The communist not released. I don't need. She is the mother of. It's not that.
So it's like a hesed.
It's not that we want to do it. But the Torah is telling us what life is about. Life is not a BMW, neither the Manhattan apartment. No, whatever you want. Life is the life of Torah, more or less. Yeah. Here is the Gemara says the parents have the right to be mocher. You have to be crazy. Why are you bringing your son? Most likely it's going to be killed. It never happened. But the concept. Torah is teaching us what is life. Anyway, Avramsky told the woman, why should I pray? She should die. Let me and you pray. You should come back and still be religious.
Yeah.
He said with her, he said, finished Tehillim. 3 or 4 years later, he came back, Baruch Hashem.
Wow.
These average that he does is not something that anybody else would get lashes for,
No.
correct?
Not only that, Eli, it's only on a specific date from the age of 13 and puberty signs up
Yeah, no, I know that, but I'm just saying, just the penalty.
to 3 months. So as everyone knows, the Gemara says in Masechet Sanhedrin that Ben Sorer u'Morer lo haya velo nivra, which means there are so many restrictions, yes? There are so many restrictions that it's impossible to have a perfect case to kill him. So the Gemara says, so why is it written? So the Lashon HaGemara is, Ela the Rosh, the Rosh, what bringing up children is about. Understand, learn what children is about. Learn to identify at the young age of kids which directions are they going. This is really, what are you doing? He's stealing money from his father, he's buying cheap meat and cheap wine, he's eating it not in Saudat Mitzvah, whatever there is.
Cheap or the most expensive? Cheap.
Glass is cheap wine, cheap meat. And he cannot steal it from his father. If he steals the meat, it's not Ben Sorer u'Morer. If he ate it in Pidyon Ben, it's not Ben Sorer u'Morer. Only if he ate it out. All the restrictions are made to make sure he is not killed. So then the Gemara says, another rabbi says, Ani Ra'iti, I saw a case of Ben Sorer u'Morer, and I sat on the grave. There's no way in the world the two Tanaim can argue on the fact. One says, Lo haya velo nivra, and the other one says, Ani Ra'iti. Says the Sefer Ber Yosef, which is brilliant, it says the one that says Ani Ra'iti, he didn't see that he was stoned. He saw this kid that was not stoned, and he saw that at the age of 19, he was already raped and killed. I saw the end result, the prediction, exactly the prediction. Brilliant, yes. But they both agree. There's no way you can have a case like this. To show you, and you realize there is something really fascinating. Look at the end. Look at, okay, so Uregamu, you see Pasuk 21. Uregamu kol anshei roba avanim bamet. Okay, this is secular. You realize, David, we are afraid that this potential dangerous kid is going to be a rapist and a murderer. What do you give for murder? You're not stoning him. Here you stone him. We are stoning only to give the message, yes? No, Rashi says he might continue stealing, killing people for money. Fine. This is not Sgila, this is Saif. Uregamu kol anshei roba avanim. Not only we stone him, look what happens now. Ubiarta hara mikirbecha v'chol Yisrael yishmeu v'yirau. Look at the Rashi. מה זה בכל ישראל ישמעו ויראו? Look at the Rashi on the right side. מכאן, יודיס, שצריך הכרזה בבית דין. פלוני נזכר, על שהיה, now remember, this is before social media. This kid is from Tel Aviv. We stoned him. מה זה בכל ישראל? How can people, Eilat or Tzfat hear this? We send messages to every Jewish community. We had a kid, it was a Ben Sorel More, Ben Sorel More. Oh, so David says, Shalosh Regalim. Where did David take this concept? Remember again, the whole Israel Yishmeu V'Yirau, Rashi is telling us, is buried in the city that is in. But every Jewish community has to find out. David is referring, look in Parashat Shoftim, last week's Parashat. Over there we had a case. Over there we had a case that a judge in the Sanhedrin disagrees with the judges, and we are warning them. So look at page 1028. Eli, you're supposed to be less tired than here, Eli. The way
I gotta go. I was really hard before at 5 o'clock. Park Avenue. It was just
Here, look a second over there, and again, this is a judge in the court. He disagrees to go to Yerushalayim. The Sanhedrin Yerushalayim is telling him, you're wrong. Don't preach publicly what you said. He refuses. Okay? So look a second. Look a second in the pasuk. Is the man is being, yes? The man is being killed. V'chol ha'am yishmeu v'yirau v'lo yizidun od. The same language. Everyone has to hear. How does everyone hear? So the sentence David made before, he took from here. Look at the Rashi, please. Rashi on the right side, second column. V'chol ha'am yishmeu. What does Rashi say there? Mikan shemamtinim lo ad haregel. This judge is not being stoned right away. You wait till Pesach, Shavuot, and Sukkot, where everyone is coming to Yerushalayim. Only then you kill him. It's the same pasukim. The same pasuk. How come by Ben Sorel or More? You see, over there, what did he do? He publicly disagreed with the Supreme Court.
It's more of a national significance, so to
Yes,
speak.
this is why you
Tommy
wait
needs to
till
push it
everyone
and
is
cover it.
coming to Yerushalayim. Yes, everyone is coming to Yerushalayim. Where you have, so this is why over there, it's not you have to kill him right away. But by the Ben Sorel More, this is careful.
One child.
Ben Sorel More, if you would wait,
The damage would.
let's say he did it right
Oh,
after
maybe
after
go from bad to
Sukkot.
worse between.
After Sukkot,
He's waiting 6 months.
6 months, A, he's already overage. You cannot kill him. Overage. B, the damage and the message is much stronger. Yes, we did this and this day.
On the spot.
You know. Okay, look.
So how are you gonna get all of Israel to hear if it's
No,
happening in one
so-
small city?
No, it's
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, the same way they know about what's called, they should send about this.
No, but normally, the Beidin in the city of every city is obligated to put signs or to make public announcements.
At the time of Purim, they sent letters all over all the 70 nations. They got letters out.
Now look now on page 1048. וכי יהיה באיש חטא משפט מוות. If you read the pasuk the way it's written is, any fellow that committed a crime, one of the 36 crimes that are punishable by death, be'umad, and he's being executed, v'talita oto aletz. If you read it the way it's written, so every one of the 36 avirot that are punishable by death, in addition to the death, the same day, you have to take his body, and right before the sunset, we hang him for 5 minutes, and we take him off. This is the way it's written. למעשה, it's a מחלוקת in the Gemara. Look a second at Rashi on the right column, the bottom. ותלית אותו ארץ, ורבותינו אמרו, כל הנזכרים נתלים. So according to Rashi, not everyone. Rashi says only those 18 Averot, not 18 or 21, or the 18 Averot that you are being stoned for, which means the highest Averah, you are being hung, not every Averah. But if you look at the Rambam, it's באמת only 2 out of the 18. It's only Megadef and Obed Avodah Zarah. Means only a man who curses Hashem. But you see, so why did Rashi like write Kol HaNizkarim? Rashi could have. That says Rashi likes to explain Chumash based on the Pshat, and the Pshat is Ki Yeh Beish Chet Mishpat Mavet V'Umat V'Talita Oto Haaretz.
It's a generality.
All death penalties, however, specifically it's these ones for stoning and also stoning to
Correct. The Maaseh, the Rambam says now.
Rambam says, but only these 2 Averot.
Only these 2, Megadev or Obed Avodah Zarah. After now comes the Ari. You read this what the Ari HaKadosh says. Okay, we cannot apply to anyone in our generation. If sometimes you see a real righteous man, Hashem Yishmor is dying at a young age. And everyone wonders why. Look at the pasuk. Chi yeh beish chet mishpat mavet v'humat. And everyone wonders why. It says if you look at the Ben Ish Chai, his time was a great rabbi in his town, Rabbi Agassi. Rabbi Agassi had a son. The son was one of these exceptional type of boys. Clean. Unfortunately, he got engaged. Before he got married, he died. But everyone in Baghdad went wild. So after the Shiva, the Ben Ish Chai came to Ben Ish Chai. Ben Ish Chai came and he says, normally I wouldn't do it, but I know that everyone wonders. Let me tell you who he was, who his neshama was, what his mission in life was, and why the mission is over. This is what the pasuk says. Ki yeh beish chet mishpat mavet, and you wonder why is he dying? V'talita oto haaretz, this goes back to Adam HaRishon. V'talita oto, the reason why he died is because of chet Adam HaRishon. The Gemara tells us, Arba'a metu be'etio shel Nachash. In our history, 4 people died. Why? Only because of Chet Adam HaRishon, which means otherwise they would live forever. One of them is Binyamin, one of them is the son of David, Binyamin ben Yaakov, Kilab ben David, and the other 2, and Ishai ben David, 3, and 4 have died. The Ari HaKadosh says at the Ramak, the Gebarim Moshe Kudaviro, he wrote, of course, which 7 did it, right? Famous. Thomas of course, Sfarim in Kabbalah, when he died at the funeral, the Ari says, and him, Ki yeh beish chet mishpat mavet v'umat, there's nothing, he died clean. And then, what's mavhil is, the funeral, the Ari says to anyone, does anyone see anything special? One young man said, I see a beam of fire from up to down. Ari told him, come to me tomorrow. The Gemara says in Ketubot that one, the greatest man in generation dies. At the funeral, you see a beam of fire. So the Ari figured if this kid saw it,
He's the next in line.
yeah. I mean, the problem is everyone brings it. The next day he came and told me, no, I can't handle it. Something happened to the kid overnight. And anyway, if you read the biography of the Rabbi Yashiv, was Rabbi Yashiv, his grandfather.
Shla,
Leshem.
the Leshem.
Abaria Levin writes, whoever was at the funeral in Har HaZitim, at the funeral of the Leshem, will be, of course, whoever was with him and another 5 people.
To a beam of fire?
Gemara,
The Leshem. I'm saying everybody saw it.
The Leshem was the biggest. But there's a pasuk, Ki yeh beish chet mishpat mavet, and you wonder why. V'talita oto haaretz. Anyway, the obligation to try to perform a burial to every dead man the same day is written here. לא תעלי נבלתו על העץ, don't leave, כי כבוד יקברנו ביום ההוא, even though it's written in regard to this man that was hung after he was killed, the Gemara learns out, this is why Yerushalayim, no matter what, no matter when you die, we bury the same day, yes? כבוד תקברנו ביום ההוא, of course the Muslims took it from him, and the Muslims, it's also a big deal.
And they, so remember the photo when they hung Eli Cohen and left him hanging in the city square?
We have in Tanakh that when the end of Sefer Shmuel, when there was a drought, and David HaMelech found out that the Giborim wanted revenge. They wanted to kill innocent descendants of Shaul. It says in Tanakh that the bodies were hung for 6 months. The Gemara in Ketubot is asking, but it says in the Chumash that the Jewish body hanging 6 months they hung. The Gemara says because there was Chilul Hashem, all the nations said, this is the way the Jews treat Giborim. It is because of Chilul Hashem, David and his court decided, even though the Torah says here not to leave the bodies more than a night, they were hanging 6 months.
Chilul Hashem was only that
Chilul
Yirno was
Hashem-
killed out.
No. Chilul Hashem was all the nations, the Goyim said, this is the way the Jews treat.
But what do we do to the Gibonim? Is it because Shaul didn't give them killed Yirno?
Killed
Right.
both parties,
No,
He didn't do
right.
anything to the Gideon
It's right.
but they lost it, but they lost their work.
Right.
as a result.
After Shaul fought, all the Kohanim supported David against him. So Shaul commanded to kill them, which the Ega they really killed most of them. And then they lost the job. The fascinating pursuit here. Look at the next topic is Shabbat Avodah. Okay, פרק אלו מציאות. Look at second, the פסוקים, okay? לא תראה את שור אחיך או את ציון לאחים. Don't let any property, an ox, a lamb, lost, והתעלמת מהם. השב תשיבם לאחיך. Now, what is the והתעלמת? Don't look at a lost item. So the Gemara says, והתעלמת מהם פעמים, sometimes you are permitted not to pick it up. זקן ואינה לפי כבודו. Right? If the man who found it is a dignified man, it's beneath his dignity, how do you measure it? If it would be your property, it would be your grandmother, would you do it? Ovadia Yosef, I'm making it up, is staying in a house, and the girl is crying all night, she lost her cat. On his way to shul, he saw the cat. You don't expect Ovadia to pick up the cat and walk in the street. There's a machloket of Rosh and Rambam Ilai, whatever the Chacham wants to mevater al kevodo, mevater means, I don't mind. I can make a Jew happy by returning his item. Okay, look carefully now. ואם לא קרוב אחיך אליך ולא ידעתו, you cannot find a guy immediately. ואספתו לתוך ביתך, והיה עמך כיבד העדים עד ראש אחיך אותו, עד ראש אחיך אותו, until your friend is identifying, the Gemara learns, identifying the item by giving simanim, והשבות עלו, and you return it to it. You do understand that the word והשבות עלו is an extra. Of course, I found the lost item, it says before I have to return. If I cannot identify the item, the person, bring them home until והשבות עלו.
The whole word or just the bottom?
So the Gemara learns out from this pasuk that the obligation of Shabbat Avodah It's not only an ox, a dog, a wallet, a watch. You're obligated to tell human beings also. It sounds always in the Gemara Sanhedrin, the Gemara wants to know how do you know that if you see a man in danger, you're obligated to do whatever you can to save him. The Gemara makes this possible. Listen to a fascinating. The old Satmar Rebbe was in Israel in the late 40s, early 50s. That was a famous doctor in Israel, Dr. Aronoff. He comes to him and he says to him, look, remember this is, he said, look, people call me during the day, office, people call me at night. At that time, they didn't have all this. So he says, it says by the doctor, ורפו ירפא מכאן שניתנה רשות לרופא לרפוא. Reshut means it's permission to cure. So he says to the doctor, if it's permission,
They're obligated.
am I obligated to go up at 2 o'clock at night? So the rabbi told him, והשבות אומרת, Rambam in Perek Dalet B'Hilchot Nadarim, Pirush HaMishnah says, every doctor that does his job correctly is mekayem also mitzvat HaShabbat HaBeidah. You understand? Again, if HaShabbat HaBeidah means years ago, years ago, I was driving under the train. I forgot what was it, which stop. Anyway, I see an old European man, and I see the way he's walking, that he's confused, and he's talking to people, and I understood he talks to them in Yiddish. This was, anyway, I stopped my car. In Yiddish, I said to him, said, where do you live? Anyway, he was an old man. He didn't get off at the right station. When he realized that he's lost, he's in nowhere.
Yeah, he's in a new country.
Remember, this is before phones. This is the mitzvah, yes? I told, come to my car.
They'll take
I mean, Yiddish, you remember your address, yes? Took him there. Of course, you came to familiar territories. And this is the mitzvah, but you hear what the Satmar Rebbe was mechadesh based on the Rambam. Every doctor that operates on you is mekayem
because his
mitzvah.
his health is lacking, he's gonna restore, basically. Losing his health, he has to return it, so.
He returns his health to him.
He returns his health,
Yeah, it's a major
especially if it's a major double operation. Yes, it's a mamash kiyum.
Wow.
When when the Stapler was very sick, the Stapler really systematically hated. I mean, he didn't believe the doctors. He didn't believe me. Of course, he believed the doctor, but he believed that very often doctors would do whatever they're comfortable with. There are zillions of stories. This is why they have medical insurance anyway. So basically, they made like a mini hospital in his house. And many doctors, Stapler was sick. Stapler died, and all the doctors came to pay Shiva Kol. Here, David, Chaim Kanievsky says to the doctors that this. The Chafetz Chaim went to a doctor once, and he says to the doctor, "You really do it. This is good. You're doing chesed 24/7. Every time you have Helama, you're making money. So what? There's no. But if you remember that every time to help people, you do chesed,
It's different. Very different.
totally different. An
Kavanah.
extra smile, more patient, and more. Very often, each one of us can attest to that. You're crying, you're number, next. The doctors afterwards said it made a very big impact on them. No matter, look, of course you're making money. Why not? You went to medical school, you deserve to make money. Why not? Charge as much as you think, but
How do you treat the patients?
Years ago, my wife had a procedure and I had to take her to the hospital, be in the hospital at 6 a.m. So I said, I want to meet the anesthesiologist. What do you mean? I said, you have to get there 5 a.m. to meet. I said, I'll be there 5 a.m. I want to meet the anesthesiologist. So I see the lady. She said, what are you doing here? I said, I want you to know this is my wife. the only person in my life that I care about. And I know you do many, many patients, but I want you to look at my face and know that I'm depending on your expertise.
Wow.
No, but you realize,
Wow.
She says, of course, I've never been approached like this. I says, well, it's my wife. I'm here to tell you that.
How long ago was this?
30 years ago.
no, but you realize, but this is the point. But this is the Vashipot, understand? If the doctor is a religious doctor and he takes it, the nephew of Rav Kook was a surgeon, a very good doctor and surgeon. If you know Yerushalayim, he had an office in Rehavia. So he had the following group. He was a scholar also. Any great rabbi that comes, he doesn't have to wait. If there are 5 patients before him, the rabbi goes in right away. Rosh Yeshiva of Hebron, Yeshivat Hebron of Sarna, Gaon Meir, was there more than once, and he got used to it. You come in, next, go in.
Yeah.
The doctor's office opens, and Rabbi Sarna gets up to go in, even though there are 3 people before him. So the doctor says to him, Rabbi Sarna, I'm sorry, but this lady is first. He says, of course.
Yeah.
And 15 minutes later, the doctor finished with this female patient, and she leaves, takes the rabbi in and says, I have to apologize. She's poor, I don't charge her money, and she's a widow
I
also.
feel like a second-class citizen.
I didn't want her to feel that you
My
are
bad,
in. Oh, she would
Yes.
think, because I'm not paying
That's
anyway.
consideration.
And Rabbi gave him a kiss, and he bent down and he says, give me a bracha. This is a chesed, the highest level of chesed you can do. Unbelievable. This is if you look on curing people, if mitzvah Shabbat.
I have a story, not perfectly related, but my late sister had a liver transplant. So I flew with her to Pittsburgh where they had the procedure to be done. And before I went we left to go to the airport, I went to see Rabbi Dweck, and they gave me some stuff. He said, listen, this is good sigula, so to speak. So I wait with her, we go into the operating room and just I'm reading right into the operating room. And I tell the doctor, you mind if I put this under the operating table? What is that? I said, it's a holy object. Hopefully you'll have a better outcome. He says, that's interesting. Could I use it for the next patient?
Look a second on page 1050.
Wait, Rabbi, could you go to Pasuk K? It's just like, it's so a matter of our times. It's amazing.
Which pasuk? Yeah, this is what we're about to read. Like, you mean Lord,
Yeah, okay.
ever, yeah?
I mean, we never thought that this would actually be so appropriate, that people would think it's normal, and that's what, it's crazy.
לא יהיה כלי גבר על אישה, לא ילבש גבר שמלת אישה. Read English. You have it 1050 pasuk on top.
1050 number 5.
Second, look at number 5.
Male garb shall not be on a woman, and a man shall not wear a woman's garment, or anyone who does so is an
No, but
abomination.
Gila is right. In our generation, more than ever.
Multiple times.
So, באמת, it's interesting, Gila. Chacham Ovadia has a tshuva. It's a very interesting question. There was a principle in Netanya, principle in Netanya. At that time, some of you are too young. You remember the mini skirts, girls used to come. Anyway, the principle says, I cannot fight it. If they come with skirts, should I tell them that they must come? Wear shorts, pants, you must wear shorts.
Oh,
So is it better? Anyway, the entire Teshuvah of Chacham Ovadia is that if a woman is wearing pants and are not tight pants, and it's obviously fashion to her, he says it's not giving me
loose pants.
But she says it's only if the woman wants to look like a man
No,
to mingle amongst them.
She is giving you why is to Avat Hashem, But the Isur remains, the Ilbash Geber. Now the most amazing part is we don't have here the Mikrahot Gedolot. If you look in Mikrahot Gedolot, Yonatan ben Uziel says, a woman cannot wear tefillin. A woman cannot wear a weapon. Yes? And if you look carefully in Sefer Shoftim, and this is one of the Haftarot, when Sisra ran away, And Yael invites him in, she puts him to sleep. How did she kill him?
The sword.
She killed him with a hammer.
Oh, hammer and the nail.
A peg from the tent.
Why a hammer? He's a general. He's a general. He's asleep. Take his. The Gemara says because no yet together al isha. And Ataman Uziel says this is why she didn't do it. Now, of course, Rav Ovadia has tshuva. Everyone has tshuva to be on that. If you live in dangerous places, many women talk about
a woman in Israel would carry a gun.
Today.
Or kibbutzim have a security guard, some of them are females, I saw.
We're talking about sincerely religious. I mean, people who don't keep anything.
Right.
So.
Why does Art Scroll call it?
Outright, because it's a pikuach nefesh. But the concept is that a weapon is a simlat isha, is a kli gever. I'm sorry, kli gever.
Yeah. I don't say, so Art Scroll calls it a garb, mean clothing.
No,
But
the
kli gever-
art school are always very, very. No, not only
Diplomatic.
Political,
diplomatic, barely, and every person, diplomatic and the reform and conservative, they follow the text. And look at the pasuk, kli gever. Kli gever means a garment. If I would have to say that, I wouldn't say the word garment. I would say a woman should not wear pants and a man should not wear skirt. This is what the pasuk is saying. David, remember, they have to give us the pshat in English. They cannot give us the Rashod Chazal. Rashi, very often, and this is Eli saying. Eli Rashi is saying, the question is, you hear what I told you before?
Yeah.
Woman who wears tefillin. This is already, you have to be a Rishon to say it. Even though we know that one year, Michal Bach did wear tefillin, yes?
But Rashi seems to be with the he's taking as a garment, not like a weapon or not like a.
But you remember, Rashi is, again, here, Rashi is taking it as pshat, yeah?
Yeah.
Now look at the fascinating, okay, there's no time, but Be'emet here, this is a topic, maybe Sunday will do it. This is a famous Rambam and Ramban. This pasuk of Lo tikach ha'em ha'rabanim, you have to send the mother first. This is the famous Ramban. Nachmanides agrees with the Rambam that the mitzvot have time, have logic. And he says the life lesson that we learn is to have compassion and mercy. And of course, maybe Sunday will show that the Rambam contradicts himself. This is a question of the Maharal, and it's clearly that very often when you have a logical reason, it's not the reason for the mitzvah. It's the lesson that we have to learn from the mitzvah. Let's say if someone, the wife sells you very good meat, $40 a pound, but there are no spices, it's not salted. Did you eat meat? For sure. But the meat and la basar tam. So the reason is like the taste to the mitzvah, not the reason to the mitzvah. Every mitzvah that we have a logical reason, if you follow the details of the mitzvah, there are details of the mitzvah that are the opposite from the logic. For instance, if the mitzvah here is, the language of the Ramban is that the mother feels terrible if you take her children from her, send the mother away. Based on this logic, what happened if you look at the pasuk? Ki kare kan tzipor, ve'aem rovetzet al ha'efrochim. What does it mean, rovetzet al ha'efrochim? She is sitting under. Here, you want to see how exact Art Scroll is. Look at Art Scroll. If a bird's nest happened, they had to be before you. Roosting. She's sitting on them. What happens if she is on the bench, right on top of them, an inch away? The Gemara says you can take them.
Oh, wow.
The mother has the same pain.
Yeah.
The answer is, of course, the logic of the mitzvah doesn't fit in timat every mitzvah. Like that. If you know the details, it's the opposite. The answer is, when she's sitting on them, I teach you a lesson. Listen to something very deep.
So how are we gonna?
The answer is again, Ta'amei mitzvot is the salt and pepper of the mitzvah, not the reason of the mitzvah. The reason of the mitzvah is because it's Ratzon Hashem. Listen to a much deeper explanation to that. Why is the mother there all the time? Because she's a mother, yes? Right?
Yeah.
But if I would take the children while she is there, I'm using the fact that she is full of compassion to her kids against her. This is really cruelty, you understand? Mother wants to protect her kids. This is why she is there. If I take the children while she is there, because I'm using the fact, if I'm taking both, I'm using the fact that she was created to have compassion to her kids against them. You understand? Yeah, I'll give you an example. In 1936, the pogrom in Hebron. So it was like a mini hospital there of Hadassah, and they had iron gates. And Baruch Hashem, many guys found refuge there. The Arabs were unable to. 15 minutes later, the Arabs come. This woman, an Arab lady, come. They have to open the gate. This woman is injured. Of course, they open it. And they shechted 25 there. They use the compassion of a Jew to kill the Jew. This is what we do to their mother. You realize? Why is she there? They see a man approaching. She's a mother. They have to send a mother to the Amok Mod.
So this is the don't take the mother and the child together is what it's.
Right. But it's called the point is that all the time they are mitzvot are like salt and pepper or spices of food. This is not the food. The food is Hashem wanted A, B, or C to happen, yes? Look at second and 1054. Maybe we can say maybe oh, thank you. Okay. Look a second carefully here. Listen carefully. Lo yavo Amoni u'Moavi b'kar Hashem, a male Ammon or male Moab, not marry a Jewish woman. It's okay. Why? Listen carefully why. Al devar asher lo tidmu et chabarechem u'bamayim. They did not approach you with basics, bread and water, as you are traveling. And the second reason is, כאשר שכר עליך את בלעם בן באור, מפטור ארם נהריים בקרבך. So two reasons. A, read the English translation. Al devar. It's too very fine.
Because of the fact that they did not greet you with bread and water on the road when you were leaving Egypt, and because he hired against you Balaam, son of Beor of Pethor.
Now, if you take the two reasons, David, which one should be first?
The second one.
Second one seems more.
When you hire the man to annihilate full nation, this is the second.
They give you water.
Okay, you know the Magid Medubna. That's a big story, but the bottom line, what he's saying is, we didn't have enough money to support 2.5 billion people to give them the water. We had enough money to pay him. Really? So the second Ba'asher Sachar is to knock out the excuse of the first. Of course, the second one is the biggest. But the second one is the proof.
And
Now,
the first one you could have done.
Correct. The question really is,
Teaching is left. Why do I need two reasons?
correct. And the
Give me
question
the second reason alone, it's done. That's the story.
right. Now, the Ramban, there's no time to go into it, but if you look at Parashat Chukat, it seems that Ammon did offer them bread and water. It says that almost in the text. But so what was it? They sold them bread and water. It says the Ramban, Ammon and Moab exist as nations because Avraham Avinu
Sustain them.
sustained them. So the main reason, why
They're
Ammon
not
and
returning the
Moab
kindness of
is הכרת הטוב. And when it comes to the Egyptians, the Torah says that the third generation of Egyptians you can take. Now, if you have to compare Ammon and Moab, the Egyptians, this is forever you cannot take it.
the Jewish people sustained for many years in Egypt before they were in
So
captivity.
she says, because of that. So even though they oppressed us for 210, even though they killed our babies, we cannot forget the fact that they sustained us for many years.
That's the Hakarat Tov to
Hakarat
Egyptians.
Tov to the Egyptians. And here, the Ammon and Moab is the
Same
exact
thing with Moshe
opposite.
Rabbeinu and the Mayim, also
Correct,
same concept.
Same idea. Okay, have a Shabbat Shalom, guys. Eli enjoys his Shabbat.
Thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom.
Deal is now.
No one's there.
It's quiet. It's quiet.
Thank you. Yeah.
People did it. That's the reason why I don't want to be there, too quiet.
No, the reason I know that many people did it because your block had 15 parkings today.
What
What happened?
happened here? So it looks like things are moving in the mayor's race. They're talking